Timotab, and today I'm doing something a little different. The inaugural SudokuCon was held in Boston, Massachusetts at the beginning of April. I was unable to be there, but reports are that somewhere around 100 people gathered to talk about Sudoku, about solving techniques, setting techniques, having a timed solving competition, solving a giant 40-grid Sudoku puzzle, and hanging out with folks. One of the sessions was a Snackdoku setting party hosted by Full Deck Missing a Few Cards and Skojo. Snackdokus are typically small puzzles with the goal of them being able to be solved in under 2 minutes. Many of the folks who set puzzles in this session were first-time setters, so I wanted to showcase some of the puzzles that they set. For logistical reasons, I've already recorded each solve separately, and I'm going to combine them into 3 separate videos, and this is the first of those videos. I will link to each puzzle in the description so you can try them for yourself. And with that, I'm going to hand over to past Timotab for the first solve. I hope you enjoy. This is Greta's Kropki by GCS. Normal 4x4 Sudoku rules apply. Digits separated by a black dot are in a 1:2 ratio. Let's restart. So, opposite the black dot with a 4 must be a 2. We can't place a 3 on a black dot, so the 3 must go here. This must now be a 1, and this is a 2. This must be 1, 2, and 4. We know that 3 can't go on the black dot, so that's there. That can't be a 4, so it must be the 1 with the 2 there and the 4 there. We can now fill in a 1 here, a 3 here, a 4 here, and we get a 1 over here. That's a 3, that's a 4, and that's a 2. That is a lovely snack. Thank you, GCS, for setting it. This is High Wire by Stine. Normal 4x4 Sudoku rules apply. Digits 1 to 4 in every row, column, and box. Positive and negative diagonals. Digits along the marked diagonals cannot repeat. And then ratio Kropki dots. Digits in cells separated by a black dot are in a 2:1 ratio. Okay, I'm going to restart the puzzle. And let's begin. So this set of black dots here must be 1, 2, 4 in some order, because they are the only digits in a 4x4 Sudoku that can go on a black dot. So that makes this digit a 2. This is 1, 4 in some order. This must be a 3. And that makes this digit a 1, because we can't repeat along the line. This 1 on a black dot must go with a 2. Helps if I type it correctly. Now in this column, the 4 can only go there, which resolves the 1 and 4 here. That gives me a 3 here and a 2 here. I get a 1 and a 3 placed. Now along this diagonal, I can't have a 3 on the diagonal, and so 3 goes there. That gives me a 4, a 2, and a 1. That's a very nice snack. Thank you, Stine, for setting it. This is There's Some Salt in My Pepper by Cateleya. Normal 4x4 Sudoku rules apply. Kropki pairs. Digits in cells separated by a black dot are in a 2:1 ratio. Digits in cells separated by a white dot are consecutive. Not all dots are necessarily given. Okay, let's restart and let's go. Okay. This must contain a 2, because the only way for a black dot to exist in a 4x4 puzzle is either 1, 2 or 2, 4. So this also contains a 2, so this must be where the 2 goes on that one. This now cannot have a 1 on it, because the other digit would have to be a 2. And if it can't have a 1 on it, and it can't have a 2 on it because of a 2 there, this must be a 3-4 pair. But the 3 can't go here, because in a 4x4 I can't put a digit here. So that is a 4, That's a 3 and that's a 1. That's a 2 and that's a 1. This now must be a 2-4 pair, making this 3 and this 4. If this is a 2-4 pair, this must be a 1-2 pair, and we know the order. Then the 4 goes there, the 2 goes there, the 3 there, and the 1 there. And then we place a 4 there and a 3 there. Very nice little snack. Thank you to Cateleya for creating it. Fill up on this morsel by Calvinball. This is not a Sudoku. This is a Philomeno. Now, a Philomeno is a puzzle where you divide the grid into regions of 1 to 9 cells in this specific example, each filled with their size such that no two regions of the same size can share an edge. So what does that mean? That means that supposing this cell here forms a region down here. First of all, we would place a 2 in there in order to show that that's a region, and we often color it. Now that means that this cell and this cell cannot be a 2 because we're not allowed to have two regions adjacent to each other. This, however, I could, however, have 2s here because these touch at a corner, not orthogonally. They don't share an edge. So that is how that all works. And the next rule, cells a knight's move apart cannot contain the same digit. So this 5 here means that that's not allowed to be a 5. That's a chess knight's move, 2 along and 1 up or down, or the other way around. All right, let's restart for the timer. Okay, this 5 cell, our given digit. All right, first of all, so I'm going to place a pentomino, so a digit with a region with 5 cells in that includes that cell. Now, there are quite a few pentominos that fit within a 2x3 area, but I can't use any of those because no matter which cell I eliminate from this 2x3, either this cell and this cell will be in there, or this cell and this cell will be in there. And that means that I will have 2 cells that are a knight's move apart that contain the same digit, which I am not allowed to have. Okay, so we only need to consider pentominos that do not fit within that 2x3. The I pentomino can't even fit on the board. The L pentomino would see this digit and this digit a knight's move apart. The Y pentomino sees this digit and this digit a knight's move apart. And the F pentomino sees this digit and this digit a knight's move apart. So those all don't work. And I think the only one that does is an X pentomino. So it could go there, or it could go here. But if I place it here, there's no room to get this 4 pentomino out. It doesn't have room. So this must be where the 5 pentomino goes, and we can put our 5 digits in. This must now be a 1. All right. This cell cannot be part of our 4 pentomino because it is a knight's move away from the 4. Even if I take those 2 cells for the 4, I need to take that one. So those 2 are definitely in. Let's give, that's good color, nice contrast. Okay, So I could do these two cells. I can't ever have that one in. If I have that one in, I need to have that one in. Okay, so that's not part of the 4. So I've either got both of those or I've got both of those. So this is in either case. All right. Let's have a look at this 2. If this 2 goes up, then how do we complete these 2 cells? I can't put a 2 in there because I'll have a second 2 region next to a 2 region. And I can't put 2 1s in there because I'll have 2 1 regions next to each other. So this 2 cannot go up. And so it must go to the left. Okay. Now this 4 needs to expand, and the only place it has room for is here. So we can put 4s there, we can put a 2 there. This must be a 1. Okay. I can't put 3 1s in here. I can't put a 2 here because it would be sharing an edge with this 2 region. And these 2 cells can't be 2s by knight's move. So those are not 2s, those are not 2s. They're also none of them 1s. So that must be a 3. So let's give that a purple color and put in 3s, and that was correct. That was very nice. I'm sure I would have done that a little quicker if I had been a bit more familiar with Philomeno and some of its consequences, but I also wanted to explain all of my thoughts. So maybe you did that in under 2 minutes. I hope so. All right. Thank you very much to Calvinball for setting that nice snack. 3 near the corner, losing its odd digits by CaptainNope. This is not standard 4x4 Sudoku. Instead, we are going to use the digits 2, 4, 6, and 8 appearing in every row, column, and 2x2 box. German whispers, adjacent digits along a German whispers line must differ by at least 5. Kropki pairs, digits in cells separated by a black dot are in a 3-to-1 ratio. Because that is not the standard, we have a 3 in the dot to remind us. And not all dots are necessarily given. Okay. Let's restart. So from 2, 4, 6, and 8, the only 2 that are in a 3-to-1 ratio are 2 and 6. So they must go there. These must all be 4 and 8. Okay. 5 digits away from 4 would be 9. But we can't use a 9 in this puzzle, so this cannot be a 4. It must be an 8. And in fact, 6 would have to go with a 1 on there, so we can't put a 6 on this line either, so we need a 2 there, an 8 there, and a 2 there. That resolves our 4 and our 8, and our 6 and 2. This is 4 and 6. Over here, we can place a 4 and a 6. And this is 8 here, 4 there, 2 there, and 6 here. Lovely little snack. Thank you, CaptainNope, for creating it. This is Slow Down and Have a Snack by Carabet and PhoenixAki. Normal 4x4 Sudoku rules. The grey line is a slow thermometer. Digits must increase or stay the same as they move away from the bulb. Okay, let's have a look. That could be a minimum 1. That would then be a minimum 2. That would be a minimum 3.
That could then be a 3, and that would be a 4. I think that's the only way to fill it. So, yeah, if I go up to 4 there, I can't fill that one. So that must be a 3. That must be a 4. And this can't be a 3 or 1 or 2, so that's a 4, that's a 3. This is now a 1 here. 4 must go here, 2 there, 1 there, and 2. And then we fill in this final box with a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Delightful little snack. Thank you to Carabet and PhoenixAki. A tree by Mushy Pasta. Normal 4x4 Sudoku rules. Digits in the grid represent the heights of skyscrapers. Each clue outside the grid indicates the number of skyscrapers visible in that row or column from that direction. So, what does that mean? Let us suppose we had 1, 3, 2, and 4 in this row. If on the left of this row we had a clue, well, let's have a look at what we can see. So this 1 is representing a building of 1 story, the 2 is a building of 2 stories, the 3 is a building of 3 stories, and the 4 is a building of 4 stories. So looking to the right from the left, we would see the 1, we would see the 3 because that's bigger than the 1, we would see the 2 because, sorry, we would not see the 2 because that would be obscured by the 3, but we would see the 4 because that's taller than everything. So the clue on the left-hand side would be a 3. If we were cluing the same row from the right-hand side, we would see the 4, which is the first thing we see, and that obscures everything else in the row, so the clue on the right-hand side would be a 1. That's how skyscrapers work. Let's restart for the timer. Okay, I can't put a 4 in here or here because this it would obscure at least 2 digits, and so this could not be a 3. So 4 must be in one of these 2, and it can't be in that one, or this clue would be a 1. So this is a 4. This 3, I can't put a 4 in one of these 2 for the same reason I couldn't put it in one of those 2. Therefore it has to go here or here, and by Sudoku it goes there. So now I have to see both of those cells, so this one must be smaller than this. So that's a 1 or a 2, that is a 2 or a 3. This 3 here does the same thing. I can see a 1 or a 2 there, or a 2 or 3 there. I need a 3 for this column. If I place the 3 here, then this clue should be a 2. So the 3 has to go there, and then that is a 1 or a 2, and that makes this column, this clue is complete. No matter what digit is there, this 1 or 2 is obscured by the 3, and so that will just work. That makes this a 3-4 pair by the row, and that has to be the 4. That has to be the 3. This 3 makes this a 2, which makes this a 1, and this a 2. This is now a 1. This has to be a 1 by Sudoku. And we get a 4 here. That's a 2 by Sudoku with this as a 1. This 2 makes this a 3. We get a 2 here and a 3 there. And that was a lovely snack. Thank you very much to Mushy Pasta for making it. Renban Snackdoku by Rangsk. Normal 4x4 Sudoku rules. And Renban lines. Digits on a line form a set of non-repeating consecutive digits in any order. Okay, let's restart. So, I first will note that each of the Renban lines is 3 digits long. That means that they must either be 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. And they don't all have to be the same, but any given one will be 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. So they will always have a 2 and a 3 on. The other digit will be a 1 or a 4. Okay, by Sudoku, we can place a 4 there. This makes this a 2, 3, 4 Renban. The 2 has to go here. 3 has to go here. We can place some 1s. We can put a 2 on there. This is now a 1, 3 pair. Let's see. That's a 3, 4 pair. That sees 1 and 2, so that is 3 and 4. So that's a 2. That's now 1 or 3. We need a 3 to go on this Renban. That therefore cannot be a 3, and it must be a 4, because if it were a 3, I'd have 1, 2, and 4 on that Renban. So that is a 4. That makes this a 1, 2, 3 Renban. That makes that 1 or 3. This 4 here makes that a 3. I can't repeat the 3, so that's a 1. That's now 3, 1, and 3, and 4 to finish off. Very nice puzzle. Thank you, Rangsk, for setting it. This is Warm Snack by ProfMeow. Normal 4x4 Sudoku rules apply. Digits on thermometers increase from bulb to tip. I'm going to reset to restart the timer. And let's begin. Okay, we can put 1 and 2 in one of those, 2 and 3 in one of those, 3 and 4 on the tips. We get a 3, 4 pair here. That makes this a 2, which makes that a 1, and this is 1 now by Sudoku. We have a 2, 3 pair in this column. That makes this 4, and this 1. That 4 makes this a 3, which rolls back down the thermometer. That makes that a 2. That becomes a 3. That becomes a 4. And now we just do Sudoku to finish off. A 4 in there, a 3 there. This must be a 2. There we go. 4, 2, and 1. Very nice. Thank you, ProfMeow. Whisnack by Nell, Gwyn. Normal 4x4 Sudoku rules. German Whisper, adjacent digits on a green line must differ by at least 2, which is the standard for a 4x4 German Whisper line. And Kropki cells separated by a black dot have a 1:2 ratio. Not all dots are necessarily given. Let's reset for the timer. Okay. How do we approach this? Right. Don't know which is going to be which, but I know that of these, one of those is low, one of the colors is low, one of the colors is high. So 1 and 2 being our low digits, and 3 and 4 being high. But I don't yet know which of these is going to be which. I do know that there is a 2 here. Right. So 2 and 3 cannot go in the middle of a line where they, or in a place in the line where they see both of their neighbors, because the only digit that can go next to a 2 on a German Whisper in a 4x4 is a 4, and the only digit that can go next to the 3 is the 1. So this must be 1 or 4. This must be 1 or 4. We're going to have, we're not going to have a 3 on the black dot, and that can't be 3. That's the key. That's a 3. That makes this a 1. This must be a high digit that's not a 3, that is a 4. This is a low digit, and because of the 2 we know is here, that's a 1. So we get a 2 there, a 3 there. This is a 2-4 pair. This one makes this a 4. These two are low digits, so they are 1 and 2, and we know by Sudoku which way round they go. This is a high digit and must be a 4. We get a 1 in there, a 3 there. This 4 resolves the 2 and the 4 down here, and that's a 2, and that is a 3. Very nice. Created a little bit of extra thought in my brain, and thank you to Nell, Gwyn for setting it. Slow Canter at SudokuCon by Dr. Sudoku and WallWalker. Insert a number from 1 to 4 in each cell so that no number repeats in any row, column, or region. So that's standard Sudoku rules for 4x4. Slow thermometer. Digits along a thermometer must stay the same or increase as one moves from the bulb to the end. And anti-night, the same numbers cannot be a chess knight's move apart. So if that were a 2, that could not be a 2, and nor could that, because they would be a chess knight's move apart from each other. Okay. Let's restart for the timer. Right. Because this is anti-night, and I do like the little knight there to try and remind us, I am actually going to colour, because I happen to know that there is only one pattern in a 4x4 of anti-night. So it's exceedingly restrictive. So this digit, which I've labelled blue, where does it go in this box? Well, it can't go there by Sudoku, can't go there by night, so it must go there. This digit in this box can't go there or there, so it must go there. And then Sudoku tells us that it goes there. And that pattern will repeat in a rotational fashion. So I can do that one and those. I can do this corner and those 3. And then the remaining 4 digits. And that is useful because this digit that is green, it must be at least 3 because these see each other in the box, but it has a digit that is greater than it. So this is, in fact, 3. Blue is now 4, and then purple is 2, and pink is 1. Very nice snack. Thank you, Dr. Sudoku and WallWalker, for your construction. This is Cagey Dots by the Fishy Fisse. Standard 4x4 Sudoku rules apply. Cages. Digits in cages cannot repeat and must sum to the value shown in the upper left corner. Kropki pairs. Digits in cells separated by a black dot are in a 2-to-1 ratio, so one is double the other. Digits in cells separated by a white dot are consecutive. Not all dots are necessarily given. Okay. And let's go. All right, that is a 1, 2, 3, so that digit is a 4. This is a 2, 3, 4 cage. 4 can't be in either of those, so that's a 4. 4 by Sudoku must be on this dot, and it must go there. That gives me a 4, a 3. That places a 3 there. This is, remember, a 2, 3, 4 cage, so that must be where the 3 goes, making that a 2, and that's a 1. I must have a 2 on this dot. That makes that a 2, and that a 1. Must have a 2 on here because it's either 1, 2 or 2, 4. And then the 2 on there told me that the 2 was over here. And now this is a 2, 4, and we know the order because of the 4 further down. And now we can just fill in the rest of our digits. Very nice snack. Thank you for that snack, the Fishy Fisse. First cage construction by engineer. Standard 4x4 Sudoku rules. Digits in cages cannot repeat and must sum to the value shown in the upper left corner of the cage. Alright, let's restart. This 3 must be a 1-2 pair, making this a 3-4 pair. 6 can only be 1, 2, and 3, so that makes this a 4, and that resolves our 3 and our 4 here. 7 must be 1, 2, and 4. Well, we know that that's a 1, 2 pair. These are from 1, 2, and 4. That's a 1 or a 2 by the column, making this a 3. So that's a 1 or a 2. That is a 3-4 pair. This is from 1, 2, and 3. Right, where does this digit go in this box? It can't go in the same cage, can't go there by Sudoku, so that is not a 3. That's the 3. That makes this a 4, this a 3, that's a 2, that's a 1. Those are not 1s, that's a 1. In fact, we can resolve those. And then that one, and a 2 there, and a 1, and a 2. Very nice snack with a little bit of extra thought around this 7 cage. I really like that. Thank you to Engineer for setting it.
Thank you very much to all of the setters that had puzzles in this video. If you liked these solves, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see more. I would love to hear your comments, including how long it took you to do each of the puzzles. I am looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.